Hey there, hi, and welcome to another episode of Sit and Spin with me, your host, Joe. With me again, Norman the Drowsy Bionic Dog, still with us. He has good days and bad days, but lately, thankfully, he's had more good ones than bad ones. And thanks for all your kind words and thoughts and prayers that you've been sending out. We really appreciate it, but as long as Norm can do the show, Norm's going to do the show. Today, though, I'm going to go with something different. I'm not going to be talking about new music, even though I could. I'm going to go with a little idea that's been kicking around in my head for a while, but I'm just finally decided today seemed like a good as day as any to do it. And a new little segment, which for lack of a better term, let's call it Hidden Gems. We're going to discuss some bands that were all primed for major label success, but for whatever reason just never broke through to the masses, never got their chance to sign, and as a result they ended up kind of being more like diamonds in the rough. But some great albums, some great classic things. Maybe there's bands that only released a few records or a couple records, or in today's case, one record, just never broke through for whatever reason, but awesome records nonetheless. And today, for the inaugural debut episode of Hidden Gems, we're going to be talking about the appropriately titled Lustre and their self-titled release from 1996 on A&M Records. Lustre were a power trio out of the Chapel Hill area of North Carolina, which also saw many other fine bands coming from that same region back in the early 90s. They were comprised of Will Marley on lead vocals and guitar, John Ray on bass and vocals, and Greg Clayton on drums. They actually debuted with a song a year earlier on the Empire Records soundtrack, which is why I'm wearing the shirt, and a tune called Nice Overalls that I really liked a lot off that album. So when their debut record was coming out, I was all primed, my appetite firmly whetted for more. Their sound was kind of a, I think Dinosaur Jr., fuzzed out, washed out guitars, but with a more melodic rock, power pop sheen to it. Bands like Sugar and Hum from also the same time area, but just hooks aplenty and a solid record from start to beginning. A lot of great tunes on the first side of the album, tunes like Must Have Been Cool and Stay How Long. But oddly enough, the second side of the record was actually the stronger side of the album. Nice Overalls from the Empire Records kicked off side 2, as well as California with a K, which was the first single off the record, and the only song, I think it was the only song they made a video for. It's out there, look for it, I'll probably post it anyway. And the track you're hearing right now, which is one of my favorites on the album, a little song called Watermelon. And even though they made the video for California, and like I said, they were all primed to go places, sadly they went nowhere and only broke up after only one record and went on to other projects of equal obscurity. And I got to see them twice back in 1996, and both shows were great. I saw them once with Velvet Crush, and about 6 months later with Verve Pipe and Self at the now defunct Granny Killins in Portland, Maine, which was a great place to shoot rock shows back in 96. And for you vinyl aficionados, the record actually did get a vinyl release, although it was only promo only. But if you can get your hands on a copy of it, it comes on a really sweet blue vinyl and sounds awesome too. I have my good friend, former PGD label record rep, Andy Valero, to thank for getting me a copy of this back in the day, and also for introducing me to the band. They were super nice guys. They even gave me a shout out on stage and said that, hey, if you couldn't buy the record from them that night, you could go pick it up at my store and say, go see our friend Joe, or we'll hook you up over to his store. And I did actually sell some copies of the record back in the day, but not a lot. Sadly, not enough. But that is my pick for this week's Hidden Gems. Band Lustre. Go out and find it. Like I said, sadly, you can probably pick it up real cheap used in your local record shop, but it's well worth hearing. Next time you are in the mood to hear something you haven't heard, check out Lustre. Great record, won't do you wrong. And if you have a similar hidden gem pick, something you feel that should have been awesome, should have been great, should have been huge, but maybe wasn't, let me know what it is. Hit me up in the comments section. And if it's something I own too, and I happen to agree with you, maybe it'll appear on a future segment. I'm going to try to do this maybe at least once a month, maybe once every other month. And probably it'll be like last week of the month, not just like this week it is. But also, depending on where you live, if you're in the nearby area, you might even be guest host for that show. We'll talk about the record together, because I don't know how much, like I said, I don't know how much longer Norm's going to be with us, but it'll be cool to have some other guest hosts. So hit me up with your ideas. Get back to me. That's all I got for you this week on Sit and Spin. Next week we'll catch you with something new, something different. But thanks for me. Thanks for Norm the Drowsy Dog. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you're also checking out my good buddy Scott over at Righteous Vinyl, as well as the riff of today, guys. And we will catch you next time on Sit and Spin. See you then.